Would you believe that building a nourishing lifestyle isn't about surviving on salads or picking at vegetables? It's actually about learning how to build a satisfying, colorful, nourishing plate one step at a time. And that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. But first, how did you get on with yesterday's challenge? Remember, I asked you to add 5 different plants to your day. Did you manage your 5? And what I'd really like to know is whether you managed 7. Now, if you did, whether 5 or 7, please tell me in the comments below, because I want us to celebrate those wins. And if you didn't quite get to 5, that's absolutely fine. Remember, this challenge is about adding, building, and creating. We are certainly not restricting. Hello friend, thank you so much for coming back to the Plant Powered Life. You are so very welcome. Now, I'm Norma Elaine, and on this channel we make nutrition simple, practical, and evidence informed. Our aim is to help men and women over 40 build better health, in fact great health, through a whole food, plant powered lifestyle. So we are now on day 2 of our 3-day nourishing plant powered health challenge. Yesterday was day 1 where we added. Today is day 2 and we are building. Yesterday I asked you to begin noticing how many different plant foods you eat during an ordinary day. Whether you eat fruit, vegetables, whole grains, beans and lentils, herbs, nuts and seeds. However, your challenge was to deliberately add at least 5 plants. Now, why is that? Because sometimes, you see, when people decide they want to eat more healthfully, the first question they ask is this: what do I have to stop eating? But as I said yesterday, I want us to approach this differently. Instead of beginning with deprivation, we begin with nourishment. What can I add? What is my body missing? How can I make this nourishing meal a little better? And today we take that one step further. We're going to take some of those plants and begin to build them into a meal. So you say, Norma Elaine, what does build actually mean? Well, building a nourishing plate doesn't mean making your food complicated, and it certainly doesn't mean eating a tiny plate of lettuce and calling it dinner. You see, a good plant-powered meal can be warm, it can be comforting and filling, colorful, familiar, and delicious. You see, the difference is that instead of allowing one highly processed or calorie-dense food to dominate the plate, we deliberately make space for foods that bring fiber, nutrients, volume, and nourishment. So today, I'd like you to look at your plate and ask, what can I build onto this? Now remember, not what I can take away. No, what can I add and build? So let's start with what you already eat. Let's make this really practical. Perhaps tonight you're having potatoes. Wonderful, keep the potatoes, but could you build around them? Could you add some broccoli, for example? Or perhaps you could add carrots, peas, cabbage, or beans. Perhaps you decided to make rice today. Keep your rice. But instead of rice being the entire meal, could we begin to build the plate with brown rice, black beans or lentils, steamed greens, sweet peas, or perhaps sweet corn and tomatoes? Perhaps we could even add a little bit of avocado. And just like that, we haven't built that meal through restriction, we've built it through addition. And every addition gives our body something: fiber, vitamins, minerals, or phytonutrients, even complex carbohydrates. And that's fuel for those wonderful microbes living in our gut. So let's think about it. Let's think about building the plate. Here's a very simple picture I want you to keep in your mind. Look at your plate and begin by asking, can I make about half of this plate colorful vegetables or fruit? Then build the other half around satisfying whole plant foods. So that may include potatoes or sweet potatoes, brown rice, whole grains, beans, lentils, or even chickpeas. Or another wholesome plant food that you enjoy. You don't have to make it perfect. I don't want you measuring every carrot. This is simply a visual guide that can help us begin shifting the balance of the plate. For example, half of your plate could contain broccoli, carrots, cabbage, and greens. Then the other half might contain potatoes and lentils. Perhaps half is a colorful salad and cooked vegetables, while the other half contains brown rice and black beans. Or you might have a beautiful bowl with oats, berries, banana, chia seeds, and another fruit for breakfast. Just look at how many plants you can begin building into one ordinary meal. And this is important because our body needs nourishment even when we're trying to lose weight. In fact, I would say especially when we're trying to lose weight, but that's not the focus at the moment. Sometimes the whole focus becomes, how little can I eat? But I want to turn that question around. What if we asked, how well can I nourish my body while creating a lifestyle that also supports a healthy weight? Now that's a very different approach. Whole plant foods generally give us an opportunity to eat satisfying portions while also bringing fiber and water naturally into the meal. And remember, as we've been talking about, fiber is particularly important because it doesn't simply disappear once we eat it. Some of it becomes food for our gut bacteria. Remember, those bacteria can then produce substances such as short-chain fatty acids, if you remember, including butyrate, that help support the health of the gut. So when you're adding that extra scoop of beans, those greens, the berries on your oats, or the vegetables beside your potatoes, you're doing far more than simply making the plate look colorful. You are nourishing your body. Now let me say something important here. Please don't turn this challenge into another set of food rules. That isn't what we're doing. If yesterday you ate 3 plants instead of 5, today you continue. If today your plate isn't quite half vegetables, please continue. We're practicing, we're learning, we are building, because lasting health is rarely created by one perfect meal. It is created by what we do repeatedly. One breakfast, one lunch, one dinner, one choice at a time. That is why my ABC method begins with A, add, then B, build, and eventually C, create. We add better choices, we build better meals, and then we create habits that can become part of our lifestyle. So my friend, here is your challenge for today, day 2. Now remember, yesterday was for adding 5 plants. Today, I want you to choose one main meal, whether it be lunch or dinner, and deliberately build a nourishing plant-powered plate. So here's what I'd like you to do. Start with what you were already going to eat, as I mentioned before. Then add enough plant foods so that you are aiming for roughly half of your plate to be vegetables or other colorful plants. Then build the rest of the plate with satisfying whole plant foods such as potatoes, whole grains, beans, or lentils, or another nourishing plant staple. And here is the extra challenge. Can you get at least 5 different plants into that one meal? Yesterday we tried 5 across the whole day. Today, let's see what happens when we start building. And if you can manage 7 plants in your meal, you definitely need to tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear what was on your plate. For example, imagine this: potatoes, lentils, broccoli, carrots, cabbage, spinach, tomatoes. That's 7 plants. And look at that plate. Now that is not deprivation by any stretch of the imagination. That, my friend, is called abundance. That, my friend, is called nourishment. And that is what I would like you to begin seeing when you think about plant-powered eating. Not what am I losing, but look at what I am adding. And tomorrow, day 3, we will take one more step, because adding one nourishing meal is wonderful. But my friend, the real transformation comes when we begin turning these choices into something we can repeat. So tomorrow, day 3, we move into create. How do we take the things we have added, the meals we have started building, and begin creating simple habits that actually work in real life? Because that is where a challenge begins becoming a lifestyle. So my friend, if these 2 days are already helping you to think differently about food, then this little challenge is giving you a taste of the approach I teach in the plant-powered lifestyle, the ABC method. Now the whole method, as I've been saying, is built around these 3 simple ideas. Add better choices, build better meals, and create habits for lasting great health. It's designed to help you move forward step by step without feeling that you have to completely overhaul your life overnight. You'll find the link in the description below. Now, just in case you are right at the beginning of your plant-powered journey, I also have my free 3 steps to a transforming whole food, plant-based, oil-free lifestyle guide linked below for you. It's in the description. So, your 2-day challenge is simple. Build one nourishing plate. Aim for at least 5 plants in that meal and see whether you can get to 7. Then come back and tell me in the comments what you built. I would really like to see what you are creating. So if you found value in this video, please like it, subscribe to the Plant Powered Life, and share this challenge with somebody who might like to do it with you. Please remember, we are not restricting, we are adding, we are building, and tomorrow we begin to create. Small steps, big change, lasting health. I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. God bless. Bye-bye.